Welcome back to Soft Life Secrets, the podcast where we dive into healing, growth, success, relationships, and creating a life that feels as good as it looks. I am your host, Miracle, and today's conversation is one that is truly needed. We're joined by Dr. Joe Johnson, author of Pursue Your Purpose, Not Your Dreams, motivational speaker, and leadership coach. Today, we're talking about purpose, identity, emotional wellness, and something society doesn't talk about enough, men's mental health. This is going to be a powerful conversation, so grab your tea, wine, or notebook, and let's get into it. Okay, let's get into it. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for stopping by Soft Life Secrets at such short notice.
Yeah.
Can you tell the people, Dr. Joe Johnson, who is Dr. Joe Johnson?
Yeah. So one, thank you for having me. Right. I've been checking your stuff out. I love it. But who am I?
Thank you.
I could begin to name off things off my resume, but no, I'm a person who I love to laugh. I know when to be serious. Don't play no games with me.
Okay.
Because I come from 53206. Right.
53206.
53206, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee,
2023 West Vienna.
Okay, Milwaukee in the house. I've never met a black person from Milwaukee.
Well, now you have.
Oh my God. So y'all got hoods in Milwaukee?
Let me tell you. So I never brag on where I grew up. And I tell people all the time, the hood is not a place, it's a state of mind.
Okay.
Right? That's why you have people that leave the so-called hood, but they have the same issues. Right? But no, we got some stuff. You look us up, you'll see.
Okay.
And that's not even to promote the negativity, but you got a lot of positive, great things happening in Milwaukee as well.
Right. And you gotta let people know where you're from.
Oh,
sometimes.
for sure. So I tell people, don't let the PhD in the smile. Hey, don't get it twisted now.
Okay. So I was looking at your post, and you mentioned something about you talked about, first of all, how disrespectful is it to insimulate that you're a doctor when you're really not? I mean, I know you worked hard for your degree.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I think so. One of the things that we would hear when I was younger is get your degree because they can never take that degree away from you, right? And people don't really understand what it takes. And I tell people all the time, getting a PhD isn't necessarily hard. It's tedious, and you also got to know how you want to leverage it because a PhD is nothing but a tool, right? But my my post in regards to and I never want to disrespect anybody, but my post in regards to some of the things that's been happening with the young lady. You got to be smart about how you portray yourself, right? And when you brand yourself as something and then it gets a little foggy about, hold on, right? Is that real? Is it not? I think the people that have actually done the work to earn those degrees start to feel away. And rightfully so, because I've seen people get put into the hospital because it stressed them out, right?
Right.
I've seen people not be able to go to funerals because they're having to finish, certain assignments, right? And so I think people have to understand you can do amazing work without being a doctor.
Right.
But if you portray yourself as that and that's not who you are, it's kind of contradictive to the branding of yourself.
Okay.
You feel me? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us, what is purpose over dreams?
Yeah. So have you ever heard dream big, follow your dreams?
Yes.
Yeah. I would hear that a lot. And I tell people all the time, I love Beyonce, Justin Timberlake, Bruno Mars, right? Michael Jackson. I used to love, I rock with them. And I would love to be on stage singing, right? And I can go get lessons and all that. The problem is, if I do that, I probably won't be successful. Why? Do you know why?
No, why?
I can't sing. What you mean?
See, I didn't know you
I can't sing. My little brother MJ, he sings.
Oh, okay.
I can't sing. That's not my gift.
Okay.
Right? And what happens if you have people going big, hey, follow your dreams. They're going, and they get there and they realize their dream has nothing to do with their purpose, right? And oftentimes you hear people say, you know, you need to discover and find your purpose. You don't find or discover your purpose. What happens is you unleash your purpose. It's a God-given gift, and there's levels to it. And so if you never tap into the initial layer of your purpose, you will never get introduced to the levels of your purpose. And so too many people, they're following their dreams, but then they're working so hard to get there and they realize it has nothing to do with what they were meant to be. And it doesn't mean once you get there that you'll stay doing that as your purpose. You'll get introduced to those levels.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so your message about pursuing purpose over dreams, how do you know when you're walking in purpose versus just chasing validation or success?
You know, I love that question because I tell people all the time, hey, you got to be careful because you cannot achieve your way from your pain and from the things that you've been going through. A lot of people think if they get degrees or they get titles that they're, I bet, you won't be better like that. If you're not operating in purpose, what happens is you begin to not only lose a sense of yourself, but you won't even be able to do the work that God called you to do. Right. And so what I tell people all the time is in this pursuit of unleashing who you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to know when it feels smooth, it's going to feel easy. And people are going to be like, man, how do you do that? Right. Because people come to me and say, how do you get up there and speak? Sometimes I tell them, you know what, it's a gift, but I still had to work at it. Right. But it just came natural. Like, do I get nervous? A little bit, but I play ball. It's the same. Okay. Right. Practice. And then it's game time, audience. Yeah. And so to me, you'll know that feeling, and that feeling is going to feel like, oh, this is it. It's going to feel like, oh man, I knew I was meant to do. You're going to feel it. And some people, they never get that feeling because they allow their parents, their teachers, society to tell them to go in a different direction.
I love that. I was just talking to somebody recently and they was talking about they walked their path of life for their parents. And they never got to live in their purpose until after their parents died. Okay.
Real quick, there's too many people who take on the goals and the visions of the people who are in power over them. And what do I mean by that? As children, our parents are in power over us, our teachers, our coaches, maybe pastors, whoever. And sometimes we fall victim to doing what it is that they want us to do versus what we know we should be doing that we feel here in our hearts.
So what would you tell somebody who have a vision of their own, but, you know, their dad was a lawyer, the dad want them to be a lawyer, take over the law firm, but that's not their passion. What would you tell them?
Very simple. I said, if you want to live and create the life that you truly desire for yourself, you're going to have to be willing to hear people talk about you, get mad at you, be frustrated with you, but always remember, they're not living your life. They're not paying your bills. And some people, they have a hard time disconnecting themselves from the people that love them. And it's not even that the people that love them are doing something bad or right. But the problem is they can pull you off the path that you're supposed to be on.
Okay. Yeah. Do you feel like some parents can lead their children in the wrong direction?
Hell yeah. I mean, yeah. What you mean? But
I mean, I see it all the time on social media. And I feel like, I mean, Joe Jackson. Why are you Joe Jackson your child? Like,
I mean, think about it like this, because I think so one, I got to give a shout out to parents, because parenting is not the easiest thing. Right. I have two boys, JoJo and Carter. JoJo, aka the Crowns. He's an artist, so I always like to pub him. But it's like trial and error, right? You're trying to sometimes give them what you didn't get. And sometimes we try to let go of all the things our parent or our guardian did for us or to us. And sometimes you got to take some of the foundation that you received that helped you and implement that into your child. But the hardest thing is to know if you're doing the right thing. I'm gonna be honest. I used to work in the schools as a school counselor. And I've watched parents tear their kids up in a bad, right? I've watched parents guide their young people in the direction. And I'm like, once I meet the parents, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what it is. I see what it is, right? But it is not easy. We don't have this one size fits all for children. Like, hey, do this as a parent, your child will be good. It don't work like that.
Okay.
So it's difficult.
And so the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Oh, not at all.
Once you meet the parent.
Not at all. But once you get around people energetically that you know are operating in purpose, because purpose is an energy. And you know when somebody is feeling good about what they do, right? And if you're not around that, you can fall victim and be part of that crowd that's trying to figure out their life when they're 40 and 50, 60 years old.
Oh, okay. So a lot of men are taught to suppress emotions and push through.
Yeah.
What would you say? How would you say that could affect them in the long run?
Oh, man.
By suppressing their feelings.
I'm smiling right now, right? And a lot of men do this. We smile, hey, how you doing? And internally, we're having one of the biggest battles, biggest wars that nobody can see. But I'm gonna tell you right now, when a man doesn't evolve into an individual that can operate at every level, what I mean by every level, they got to be able to operate in their emotions. They got to be able to operate in their strengths. They got to be able to operate in love. They got to be able to operate in that warrior, right? If they're not able to navigate those spaces because they're suppressing all of the things that's internal, it will come out in a way where people are like, what happened? Not knowing that they've been battling something for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what advice, like, what would you tell these guys? How can they get that out and find a safe space or a safe place to communicate what they're actually feeling?
Yeah.
Because you talk about mental health for men, right?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this, and some men, you know, some men are gonna be like, oh no, I'm not. But let me tell you something. One of the things that got me through some of my hardest times is men have to find a space to have a good cry. A good cry.
Is that by themselves, with other men?
By themselves.
Okay.
Right? And because we put up this facade as though we're tough when we're really just holding that animal in the cage that's ready to just burst out, right? And so for me, I'll give you a great example. Every time I go to the gym, I start off in the steam room, my prayer, my meditation. And there's been times where I'm in that steam room just crying. There's times when I'm driving, I'm by myself, I just go park, I just let it out.
Wow.
Right? And my sons, it's interesting, my sons would see me crying. And they'd be like, Daddy's like, when? But I needed them to see that Daddy cries and it's okay.
And it's okay.
And now what I tell them, especially when they were little, I say, hey, it's okay to cry, but you don't have to cry about everything. Right? But it is okay to cry because I need them to be able to tap into those different levels that men have.
Okay. So what are some silent signs that a man is struggling mentally, even when he appears successful on the outside?
Overworking, overeating, over drinking, overworking out, underworking, right?
Wow.
Too much sleep. They get quiet. They isolate. There's so many signs that if you know them, you can see it. If you know somebody and they're, oh, hey, how you doing? And then you get around them and they're like, hey. Like you gotta be able to see the little things and the little signs in men because men are taught nobody needs to see us weak.
Right.
And the reality of this life that we live in is we're strong at times, we're weak at times, we're strong, right? And for men, we're supposed to just be constant strength. It don't work like that.
Okay. So do you believe that a lot of, okay, so I do believe, you know, autism is real high right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
On the spectrum, being on the spectrum. But back in the day, I mean, I don't know how old you are.
Oh, I'm about 21.
Okay. So back in the day, you know, a lot of people went misdiagnosed, undiagnosed.
Yep.
How are they coping today, battling that adult autism?
I love that question. No, really, I was just, I'm faculty and I was teaching my students. I said, hey, there's too much overdiagnosing nowadays, especially of black and brown boys.
Yes.
And there also has been underdiagnosing, right? And when you underdiagnose, and then you have young boys specifically growing up, what happens is they may be fighting, they're antsy, they can't sit still, right? They're talking slick at times, but what happens is when we underdiagnose, people turn into what some folks are, oh, they crazy, right? Oh, they ain't got no self-control. Oh, they weird. Oh, they strange. No. They're human. And folks, when they were younger, they just missed what they needed. But the problem is, it shows up as they grow, and then guess what? They start having kids, and now you
It's
have
passed on.
right.
Generation.
You have this undiagnosed individual that's trying to parent and teach, but they're teaching from a place where they're not fully who they can be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it gets tough. Yeah.
I dated somebody, I believe, that was misdiagnosed.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I digress. Let me say, okay, so
That's real though. I mean, let's
real.
keep it a buck. That's
It's
real. Yeah.
I mean, because now that I'm thinking, I was like, dang, all the signs were there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his fault.
Right.
Because it wasn't available to him.
So you didn't know the signs then?
They start showing
They start
up.
showing up.
And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think men today feel pressure to always be providers and protectors?
Where my camera? I was about to say no. Right? But it's a lot of pressure out here on us. And, you know, I always want to acknowledge my women because there's a lot of pressure on women as well, just to be a woman, especially our black women, right? But for men, we're taught this, be a provider. And when you're not operating in purpose and you're kind of lost, how are you a provider? Because provider for most people, when they first hear that, is how do I make sure you're sustained, right? We can pay the bills, we can all that, right? But providing also, you got to think about, are you able to provide for your partner and even yourself emotionally? Right? Are you able to provide that space where people feel safe to come to you and share whatever they need to share, right? And so when I think about providing, men right now, I think we have to redefine what providing means, because there's going to be times where we're all the way up financially and we could provide like crazy. But there's going to be times where we're not as up. But don't forget about those other areas that you have to provide. Right? And sometimes we get focused on just the financial piece of providing, but that's a lot of pressure, because I don't think, from my experience, that a lot of men can let that go, because we start to feel shame and guilt if we're not able to do that.
So how do you find your peace or living your soft life as a man and still, you know, withhold or sustain that masculinity?
Peace and soft life. It's interesting because my partner, Dr. Curtis, we've had these conversations about, you know, as a woman, what does it mean to feel like you've been super independent, but now you got to move into that soft life of yours, right? And, you know, for me, when I think about peace and soft life, I think about the fact that we need therapy before anything happens. We need therapy before. Because
Look at that camera and say
listen,
it again.
I'm talking to you right now. You need therapy. You don't have to wait for something tragic to happen. Go get therapy right now. And I have a book if you need to go get that. It's called How to Find a Therapist, right? But we need therapy early on, because we live in a society where we're too reactive versus proactive. And when you're proactive with your life and you really want peace, and as you say, that softer life, a softer life for men, because some men are scared of the word soft. Soft don't mean you weak. Soft just mean you're in flow, you're in peace. Right? You have this ability to, you know who I identify as a person, and they say he's just unbothered? Omarion. Omarion, the singer, Touch, B2K. Omarion, you know, all the stuff happening. He's like, it's going to be okay.
He's very calm.
Very, very calm, right? When you're able to be calm in situations, when you're able to go through some of your worst, your darkest, I had one of the darkest moments in my life. And I know for a fact that if I wasn't prayed up and if I wasn't emotionally together, I may not be sitting here with you.
Wow.
Because I was ready to go do some foolishness, right? And when you go through things as a man, and sometimes we want to stand on principle and we want to stand, right? And sometimes you got to be able to say, I want to stand on principle, but that's not a good decision right now. And so if you want peace and you want that softer life, you have to be able to make decisions that's going to allow you to get there. And some of us, and I learned this with men, some of you men put yourselves in situations that you don't got to be in, which means when you don't have a level of discipline and self-control,
Right.
you will not be able to have the peace and the soft life that we're talking about.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. This answers the question. I was going to ask you, what does a soft life look like for men without them feeling weak and less masculine?
Yeah.
You summed it up.
I mean, and once again, I need us to hear that word discipline, because I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm okay with being transparent.
Right.
Like there was a point in my life where, I wasn't Dr. Joe Johnson, right? I was Joe Johnson, the athlete, Joe Stud.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Joe Stud, you know.
And what he do? What did he do?
With the ladies, with the ladies. What's up, baby? How you doing?
Yeah.
Right, all that, all the foolishness. And what happens is when a man is not able to conquer themselves and that quest for this woman and that woman and that woman, what happens is it bleeds into when you want to actually get it together, but you've been doing it so long, it's hard for you to stop. So it oftentimes, unfortunately, takes a tragic situation, a heartbreak, in order for you to be like, oh my goodness, that don't feel good. And then you get to a place where you say, you know what? Not only do I never want to hurt a woman like that again, but I also need to learn how to be a better me, because you have people looking at you, especially young men, looking at you as the person that's showing them the way.
Okay.
And so, unfortunately, once again, it may take tragic situations. And when I'm not talking about a death, but I'm saying like a woman that broke your heart or, and nowadays you may have somebody that she liked you. She thought you liked her the way she liked you. And now that you let her go, she done committed suicide.
Oh.
Imagine that happening.
You're right.
Right? And so we got to be mindful of all of that.
Oh, you ain't breaking hearts out there, are you?
Oh no, I'm
Straight and narrow.
straight. I don't have. If I want peace, right? I want flow. I have to learn from what I've been through.
Oh.
And too many of us we take the wrong L, right? Because people always talk about wins and losses. That's the wrong L, right? We don't lose. We either win or we learn. That's it. So you got to take that lesson. And too many of us, we're not getting the lessons from the things we went through, and we go do the same thing, and we think we're gonna get a different outcome. It don't work like that.
Oh. And that's with women too, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They keep attracting the same.
Oh, don't come. You know.
Type.
Yeah.
It's you, sis. It's you.
I met somebody, but he too nice. I'm like, what is too nice?
Right.
You so used to chaos that you don't know what it means to find somebody good.
Right. Right. I always tell my friends, because they ask me all the time, how do you, guys just approach you? They attracted to you. And I tell them, stop looking for what you used to look for. Look for something different.
Yeah.
Change up, because what you used to look, what you like ain't where it is.
It ain't. It ain't.
So you got to be open.
Yeah.
You got to be,
I'm gonna give this real quick. I'm gonna give this gem to women.
Okay.
Right. Women
listen, ladies, listen.
Listen to me now. I gotta share this with you. Now I'm gonna let y'all see these because this. All right. So, but real talk. When you're able to provide a space for a man to feel safe, you could be fine, you could have the body, you can make money, but when you're able to create the space for a man to feel safe, safe means they can tap into all their emotions. They can cry, they can be upset, they can talk to you. When you're able to open up that space for men to be safe, you got them. Remember that.
We're going to rewind now. Okay. So have you ever Have you personally experienced burnout or emotional exhaustion while pursuing your purpose?
Oh, yes.
How did you deal with that?
Yes. I had to sit still.
Okay.
I think from my experience, when you don't come from a whole lot, you're like, I gotta go get. I'm a go-getter. I'm a hustler. Right. And we go. And I used to tell people all the time, man, I'm going. I'll sleep when I die. Problem is, I was going and going and going, and I ended up in the hospital, not understanding what was happening. And what they told me, hey, this is stress.
Wow.
It was stress. And so I realized at that point that whenever your body is saying, hey, sit down, whenever your mind and your heart is saying, hey, you need to rest, we got to listen to it, because our bodies, right? Our bodies, they're telling us, they're talking. Our bodies talk to us all the time.
Right.
Right. What happens? You eat what you shouldn't have ate. Your stomach, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? When you, I don't think that's the right person. Your body tells you.
Right.
Right. You can have this feeling. You go somewhere and you're like, this don't feel right. Your body talks to you. And so if we don't listen to the body, you will fall into a place where it's going to be harder to climb out sometimes. And that stress will take you out, and stress leads to all of the physical ailments and will take you out and put you in the hospital.
Wow. This is real, y'all. This is real.
Yeah.
Coming from a man. How important do you feel? A lot of men do not go to the doctor as regularly as they should.
Yeah.
Why you think that is?
You know, I don't really have the answer for that, but I'm going to tell you what I think just based off of my experience. What I think is that sometimes men think that you can't break us. Nothing can break us. We think nothing will happen to us, right? And the unfortunate thing is you can be doing everything that you're supposed to do, and something can still come and take you out.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
But what we need to do, and what's important is, and because it's not just a doctor, right? It could be the doctor, it could be your therapist, it could be a chiropractor, it could be, we need to be proactive in what's happening to our body and our minds and our soul, right? And too many of us think we can't be crushed. And in reality, in this life that we live in as men, yeah, we can be tough, but the toughest individual can be taken down.
Right.
And it may not be physically, it could be mentally. And I'm telling you right now, the last thing we want to be as men is we don't want to die mentally before we die physically.
That's deep. The reason I brought that question up, because I was sitting talking to a colleague, and one of our classmates passed away, completely healthy, gym 5 days a week, and just all of a sudden a heart attack. Like some signs had to be there. You know, so I just wanted to know, why do men, are they afraid to go to the doctor? Are they afraid of the answers?
And I think that's part of it. I think sometimes maybe, especially for those, when you know you're not doing some of the things that you're supposed to do, you're scared to go get that answer, right?
Okay.
Prime example, when you know you've been spending money like crazy, you're like, I don't even want to look at my bank account. I don't even want to look at my credit score, right? Like, you know it. And so sometimes going to that doctor is going to confirm what you already know. And if we don't go there, we have this thought as, oh, well, if they don't say it, no, it's still happening.
Right. And I feel if they get diagnosed or something is tested early, you catch it early, you can save your life.
There you go. It's like it's like a relationship.
Right.
You caught it early, like something ain't right with this dude, right?
Let me get him some help.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what advice would you give to the high achieving man who feels empty despite reaching all his goals?
Yeah. You know,
I mean, he's there.
Yeah.
Financially, everything.
Yeah. I know folks like this. And some of them are the most miserable people. They feel lonely. They feel lost. They've realized you can have all the money, all the things, all the titles, but it means nothing. All right. And I was watching this clip, and I forgot who this guy was, but I was watching this reel on social media, and the guy said, you know, it was an older white guy. He said, you know, one of the ways that you gauge your life is if your children want to visit you when you're older. Because you have some children like, they don't even go back and see.
You are absolutely right.
And so that's how he gauged his life. If, you know, he's in his 70s, 80s, and the kids are like, oh, we're going there for the holidays to see. I said, man, that's a great way to gauge how you've been doing, because you need people around you, right? That's full of love, full of peace, full of softness, as you say, right? And too many of us as men, once again, we have the things, we have the money, all of that, but we don't have the right people around us. And I call it the 4 Ps. The 4 Ps are very simple. You are a product of the people you place in your presence, right? And too often you don't have the right people. And so you burn out slowly, and you get there and you're looking around like, I have everything that I thought I wanted, but you don't have the love and the peace and the people that you would like around you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to look at, before my grandmother passed away years ago, she was like 95. And so I would go visit her in the old folks home.
Yeah.
And every day somebody was coming. They knew us. My mom would go every day after work, or we would just pop up on her. But it was a lady in her room. No one ever checked on her. So when my mom took care basket or, you know, got something for my grandmother, she also would get something for her roommate. But I always wondered, how did this lady get in here and nobody is checking on her? No one?
Yeah.
Is she the last, you know what I mean? Like maybe Christmas somebody may come see her, but I'm like, how can y'all just do that?
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's family dynamics are interesting. And sometimes we think the families that look like the Huxtables, right? That look like, you know, some of these families that have the wealth, right? Sometimes we think that they have amazing lives. But once again, some of those families are the most chaotic families ever. And, you know, one of the things that I'll share with you that I think is important for us to understand, because I believe the life expectancy for men is about 78, something like that, maybe. And for women, maybe about 81, something like that. And if you look at the amount of times, if your parents are still living, if you look at the amount of times you go see them, if you go once a year and your parent is only, you know, let's just say they're 75.
Right.
That means you probably have, and you go see them once a year, that means you have 4 to 6 more times to see your mother and your father.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so we got to start thinking like that. And some people are even jealous that you have a relationship with your parent because they didn't have that. And it's not necessarily that jealousy where they're like, I hate you, but they're like, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. And it's unfortunate that, you know, some folks weren't able to get the relationship that they wanted with their parents. But what I will say is, when that happens, it's so important for them to go get that therapy, because that's a lot.
Right.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Right. My mom is my best friend. and my girlfriend's best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, she swears she our age, man. But shout out to my mom.
What's up, Mom?
But she is like 89 and she be kicking it.
Yeah.
Like harder than us. And I hope to live as long as she has. But the way she's taught me is to always treat people the way you want to be treated, and just be real.
Yeah.
And, you know, be real and honest.
Yeah.
What would you say to, we're going back to the relationship thing, because a lot of women want to hear from a man.
Let's do it.
What would you say for a man when you're tapped out and you're ready to go, checked out?
The relationship?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
How do you exit? Like, and do it tastefully? And, you know, because we all adults, we know when it's not working.
Yeah.
And there's no sense of wasting time. I don't ever have any bad breakups.
Right.
So, you know, like, the one that was on the spectrum, you know, but it is what it is. But I have no bad breakups, because I feel like my mom have always told me to exit tastefully and with dignity. And you don't have to show out.
Yeah.
When it's over, it's over.
That's real. And I want to acknowledge, though, right? The fact that as a woman, so I'm going to speak to women. As
Okay.
a woman, you cannot control how a man reacts to you wanting to exit. And that's where it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because nowadays, and like we see it online, on social media all the time, like men going crazy, shooting it.
Right.
Like it's kind of like, yo, what's going on?
When
right?
did that happen? Has that been going on?
I think it's been going on, but because we have social media now, we see it a lot more.
Okay.
But listen, like we're connecting that to maybe they were undiagnosed, right? They didn't get that therapy, and that's real, right?
You're right.
And so we don't have control. Men don't have control over how the woman is going to react when they want to leave. Nobody has control except of themselves. And when you talk about exiting, one, I think this word that we have to begin to get comfortable with is uncoupling.
Oh, uncoupling.
You ever heard uncoupling?
No.
Yeah, I want you to look uncoupling. Uncoupling is
uncoupling.
Uncoupling is, hey, we know this isn't working, and we figure out a mutual and positive way to just break, whether it's a marriage, so the divorce is uncoupling, whether it's, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to call it, but it's uncoupling. It's doing it in a way where, hey, we know it's not working. You go your way, I go my way.
Right.
And you have therapists and folks who actually help people uncouple.
Oh.
Yeah. When I was married, we went through somebody in terms of uncoupling.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
You couldn't do it yourself.
It's hard because sometimes it's how things happen. There's a lot of emotions.
Right.
There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of like, whoa, I thought my life was going to be this. So now you have shame.
Okay.
You have a lot of like, I'm a bad person or I messed up, right? And so sometimes we need help with the uncoupling. Okay. And so
even therapists need therapy.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Therapists need the most therapy.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you listen to everybody unload and dump everything on you all. Okay.
Exactly. And people need to understand, your mama ain't your therapist.
Right.
Your best friend ain't your therapist.
Right.
Your pastor ain't your therapist. None of that. Go to a professional. Right? And it doesn't mean, I know some great folks that do counseling and counsel that are not like licensed. However, go to a licensed therapist. If you want to get some coaching and some guidance, you may go to somebody who's not, because it's just, it muddies the water. And there's also like ethics in regards to, some of the things that we can say and what we can do. And that's where it kind of gets muddy, because if somebody's like, well, I can do whatever because I'm not licensed. Well, if you mess somebody up, you got to be mindful of the consequences to that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So what I have a problem with, anytime you go to therapy, it's up to you to do the research.
Yeah.
So make sure, if they saying they're a doctor, make sure they're a doctor.
Yeah.
Make sure.
And they don't have to be. You have a lot that don't have PhDs or doctorates, right? So they may be masters, but they've been they have their license.
Do the research.
Oh yeah.
Do the research on the person.
Yep.
Like he says, you don't have to be a doctor to be a therapist, but make sure you vetting the person, because what I hate most about everybody's a coach now, a life coach. Everybody's a therapist.
That's true.
Everybody's a relationship professionalist.
Yeah.
But I ain't in no relationship. I hate that with a passion.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to tell me something.
Right.
But if you haven't been through what I've been through, how can you tell me about, like, you can't talk about a relationship or a marriage or, girl, you should leave if you've never been in a marriage.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So that's the problem I have. You have so many people out there, and some of these people are bitter.
Oh.
They hate men or women,
Yep.
for that matter.
Yep.
You have to make sure you are getting good advice, sound advice.
Yep.
Do your research. And it's I digress. I just had to say that. I just had to say that because it's a lot of women out here that's trying to give relationship advices.
Yeah.
And they ain't had no successful relationship.
Yeah, and that's I totally agree with you. And I always tell people this, because I don't believe there's not a one size fits all in regards to relationships and how they should go.
Right.
And there may be some foundational things that are consistent for a lot of people. But, one of the areas that I hear people always going to is, the Bible says this about your relationship. Everybody's not a Christian.
Exactly.
Right. And so we got to be careful with that. But what I also will say is, I want people to think about how can you teach from a place of these are the lessons I learned versus do this, do that in the relationship.
Right.
Right. And because once you, and this is about the branding piece again, if you consider yourself a relationship expert, right. Hopefully you've been through all the different phases of a relationship, right? And a lot of times if you haven't been married, people might look at you like, hold on, you telling me to get married, you ain't even been married. Right. And so it's a lot to it. And I do want to acknowledge, because I think, I never want to come off as though, the folks who are like not licensed therapists and all.
Right.
There's some amazing coaches out here. I know some dope coaches. I work with Brick City. I don't know if you know who that is. Him and his wife do some amazing work, Brick City Buddha. But when I tell you, some people are gifted at what they do. Matter of fact, my family and I, we were on the show of Iyanla Fix My Life.
Really? Okay. Y'all got to check that out, y'all.
Yeah, Iyanla was amazing. Like, people think it's just television. That woman is gifted.
Oh, yeah.
That woman is gifted. And I think one of the parts that too many of us don't acknowledge is sometimes you have to let go and submit yourself to somebody else's process that can help you go to that next level. And that's what I did for the first time with Iyanla.
Really? Yeah. So your family now went to her? Yeah,
my brother, my sister, my mom, and my ex.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was success.
It was great. It's still work to do. Yeah. But like, and I always give a shout out. So like my sister Shay, my brother MJ, and my mom, they was all in Love and Hip Hop Miami, right?
Okay.
And so we got so many calls.
Wait a minute, your sister Shay?
Yeah.
Was on Love and Hip Hop?
Yeah.
Man, Shay?
Yeah. That's my sister. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like same mama, same daddy, all of us, right?
Wow.
But I think it's important for people to understand the work starts after you get the initial but I think what was even more powerful about us going on that show in that capacity was the amount of people that called and said, thank you. My family is going through that too. Called my mom crying, right?
Wow.
Like, and then let me share this with you real quick. After we did that show, they brought Miss Iyanla on Love and Hip Hop Miami to do a scene with my sister and my mother. And I was at home and I was watching. I don't really watch reality like that.
Right.
But I was watching because I knew that episode, and I'm sitting there and my mom is telling the story. And she told the story and I just broke down crying because the story was about me. The story was about a situation with her and her ex, and he pulled a pistol out on me. Right? I was young, but I beat him up. But anyway.
You gonna make me go Google this show.
but yeah. I didn't know that I needed to hear her say what she said. Because I was sitting there like, oh, okay. And I just, tears just started dropping. Because I needed to hear my mom acknowledge that part of my life.
Wow,
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Y'all, this has been amazing. I'm not ready to go. I'm gonna have to bring you back. You in Atlanta frequently.
When I get here, we'll do what we do.
Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. Dr. Johnson, please tell them where they can find you and on all platforms.
Yeah, make sure you go to joejohnsongroup.com. More importantly, go to purposeoverdreams.com. A lot of resources for you. And I want you to take that purpose assessment. But I'm all over social media at Joe Johnson Speaks. But as we move forward, I just need you to remember we do two things in life. We evolve or we evaporate.
Wow. That's it. That is amazing. Yeah. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, what an incredible conversation. A huge thank you to Dr. Joe Johnson for joining us and dropping so many gems about purpose, healing, emotional wellness, and redefining strength. One thing we always say here on Soft Life Secret is that a soft life isn't about avoiding hard things. It's about protecting your peace while growing through them. And today's episode reminded us that men deserve healing, rest, support, and emotional freedom too. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe, have a review, and share it with someone who needs this conversation. And as always, keep choosing peace, purpose, and the soft life you deserve. I am Miracle, and I'll see you on the next episode of Soft Life Secrets.